Okay, so after a new control pack install on a Reflections or a Bay series, we're going to see something like this. So we've just installed the pack, and then this is going to come up. So usually this pack may or may not be pre-configured in one of these specific configurations. More than likely, we're looking at 2022 plus because this is a new pack. Regardless, we need to select Dimension 1 for the dealer icon. So you see we got in your spa and generic. Generic's going to give us like gecko icons and functionality. So we're going to choose Dimension 1. Okay, so now let's look at this. So basically, it believes my jet pump 1 is on right now. You can see that it is not. Why does it believe that? Because it is in configuration number 1. Well, how do I know that? Well, look at configuration number 1. We see one pump. So we see pump 1, pump 2, pump 3. Now we look back here, 3 pumps and a waterfall. Well, I've got a triad. Triad does not have a waterfall, nor does it have 3 pumps. Not only that, but both pumps are 1 speed. So right now, after this pack install, it believes that I am in low speed jet 1. Well, I don't have a low speed. If I were to turn this on, it's probably gonna turn on my high speed. So again, we're in the wrong configuration. Same thing with number 2. So number 2 worked. Number 2 worked because if we look over here, configuration 1, 2 speed pump 1, 1 speed pump 2. So obviously we're gonna get nothing on pump number 3. Okay, so we know we're in the wrong configuration. So a customer or technician who has just done a pack install, they're gonna reference these configurations. Now, we do wanna go off of the model year. So let's say I had a 2015 Triad, I would then set it in configuration number 4. Why? Because a 2015 Triad had 2 2-speed pumps. 2022 on, 2 1-speed pumps. Now mine, I believe, is a 2021. So we look down here at Triad, still number 9, 2 1-speed pumps. So again, we want to make sure we have the right configuration based off of the model year here. And I'm working off of a 2021 Triad. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to go into settings. And from settings, we're going to go to electrical configuration. Electrical configuration, we're going to select config. You see it's in number 1 now. Again, remember, we want to be in number 9. So let's go ahead and take it up to number 9. 6, sorry, my finger in the way, 9. We're going to select confirm. Now we have to hit apply, select apply for 5 seconds. Press it for 5 seconds. Give us a nice little countdown. Now it's going to ask us for the electrical configuration code for the Dimension 1 software, and honestly a lot of other manufacturer software. We're going to choose 5555. There are some other codes, and Wellis uses a different code. I think Balboa might even use a different, I'm sorry, not Balboa, I think Gecko may even use a different code, but we're going to go ahead and go with 5555 for this Dimension 1 software, and then we're going to hit enter. It's going to do a soft reset. So here we go, we're resetting, and it should be resetting in this configuration. So give it a few moments here. Usually it doesn't take long, maybe 15-20 seconds. You see my pumps turned off. Oh, just turned back on, which would mean what? That we're back on. So again, let's select Dimension 1. All right, and now let's make sure we're in the right configuration. 1 speed, pump 1. Off. 1 speed, pump 2. Off. And we have lights. We have no waterfall, obviously, because this is a Triad. Does not have that waterfall. So we got it in the right configuration. Now let's look at a couple other things. In the same menu, so let's say more often maybe we're working with maybe like a Serena, Lotus, or Mori, something with 3 pumps. So any of these that would have 3 pumps. And we're having issues maybe with occasionally when all 3 pumps are on, the breaker is tripping. Let's assume we have a 50 amp breaker, and it's just tripping. All 3 pumps come on for a filter cycle and it trips every now and then. Sometimes what we can try is this. So if we go to the settings again, we go to electrical configuration again, look at the current there. So the software decides the current based on our configuration choice. In any of these situations, sorry, I'm moving back and forth too fast, the configuration is selecting a current level, it's basically amperage, that's going to be 20%, about 20% less than the expected GFCI breaker. Now I'm working off of a 50 amp, so if we go over here, we got a 50 amp breaker there, okay? So essentially, if we're over amping, so let's say all these pumps are on and it trips a breaker occasionally, maybe we're over amping. Maybe instead of 40, so basically if we go over 40, that would then trip the 50 amp GFCI because the software is coded at 40. So let's say we choose 48. This is the highest it goes, is 48. So this is something we can try. I'm going to select confirm and then apply for 5 seconds. Oops, must not done it right. Must have had my finger slip off. Essentially, it's going to go through the same reset as it did when I selected the configuration. So it's still going to be in the correct configuration, but now it's going to have a max amperage, or it says current, but it's amperage rating of 48 amps. So if we have all these pumps running, we're pushing over 42, 43, 44 amps. One of those pumps maybe is somewhat over amping occasionally. Maybe then we're not gonna trip that breaker. So go to settings, electrical configuration. You can see now that the current level is at 48. Not gonna do any harm in this case to keep it right there at 48. So that is all again in the settings and in the electrical configuration menu.